Before you rent your next place to live in Fort Lauderdale, I want to talk to you about the differences between an apartment complex and something listed on the market by a private owner. The average rent prices we're seeing right now, as well as showing you what you can get at those price points. And then if you're planning on spending over a certain budget that I'll share in just a moment, I'm going to briefly talk about why it makes more sense to buy instead of rent. To kick this off, I want to make sure you're aware of all of your options and what the differences are between those options. The first and the most known and the easiest thing to access as a consumer without the help of an agent is apartment complexes. These are often big cookie cutter style apartments operated by one big management company. And because it's managed by one company, it has more of a corporate feel to it. You can't really negotiate pricing, and all of the units typically have the same finishes. The nice thing about apartment complexes is that they typically have pretty nice common areas and amenities, and they don't charge you as much upfront as the next option. The second option is rentals that are listed on the market with an agent and owned by a private owner. This can be things like condos, townhomes, and full-size houses. Because it's a private owner, you have a better shot at negotiating the price and terms of the lease compared to an apartment complex. One of the biggest differences between the two is the amount they require upfront, like I mentioned just a second ago. Private owners will typically ask for first month, last month, and a full month security deposit upfront, whereas an apartment complex is usually just the first month's rent, $300 to $500 in admin fees, and a small security deposit. The cool thing about going the private owner route, though, is that you can negotiate just about everything. So there is a chance of lowering the moving costs, but it all depends on what the owner is willing to accept. Now I want to get into some of the average prices of rentals here in Fort Lauderdale. As I'm talking about them, I'm going to throw some examples up on the screen. Right now, we're seeing an average of around $2,500 a month on one-bedroom units, $3,000 a month on two-bedroom units. Obviously, you can find cheaper options as well as much more expensive options depending on the area, the style, and the square footage, but this is a good general idea of what you'll pay. Now, at the beginning of the video, I said that if you're planning on paying over a certain amount of money for housing, it may make more sense to purchase than to rent, and that price range is at or above $3,000. If you're considering doing this, you need to know that there's a good chance that you can find something nicer if you're renting at this price point than something you can buy at this price point, but it all comes down to your goals. If you're planning on renting for a year or two to figure out what area you want to settle down in, by all means, rent. But if you have a more long-term mindset and you already know that you'll be here for a while, owning where you live has so many benefits. One of those being getting your money back when you sell the place. If you decide to sell in a few short years after buying and the value just stayed the same, the money you've been putting into your property sort of acts as a savings account. And again, that's only if the value stays the same. If the property rises in value, you now have equity in your home, even if it's just a little bit, that you'll be able to cash out on when you sell. There's obviously a few more complexities to everything I just said, but the overall idea is that putting money into something that you own is so much more beneficial than throwing $30,000 a year away to rent. If you want help with any of this from somebody who has their eyes on Fort Lauderdale real estate all day, every day, I would love to sit down with you and show you what all of your options are, whether it's renting or buying. All of my contact details are pinned in the comment section below this video. That being said, I'll see you in the next one.